Hey y'all, thank y'all so much for watching. It is Jasmine, or Peace of Mind. That's M-I-N-E. I am going to be discussing today the Book of Jonah, just because I felt like I had my own specific journey. I believe still into the dark night of the soul. Definitely go tune into my last video, my last long video. It's about me discussing that and some Sephora products that I did or do have here today that I kind of did my face on. And we do a high-low over here, so I'm not gonna give y'all anything too bougie or too crazy. If y'all just want to see that video only, skip ahead, feel free, just so y'all can get your own message or interpretation, or just to understand where I'm coming from with it. And also tune in to my TikTok, that is at Jasmine Golding as well. So y'all, all right, the Lord has a message for us. Okay, we in here. Okay. So the reason that my desk is kind of like chaotic is because God has been really putting on my heart and my soul that I need to not necessarily like post a video. He has been on me about that too, because I need to get into a routine. But he's been on me to get this message out to y'all. And so I've been over here feeling real pretty in pink, but been making notes of like all the things that I need to say to y'all, because I've been in this message for a hot little second, a hot little minute, y'all. And let me just say, I've had to go back and forth and just read other people's interpretations, watch videos, and I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna do my best, right? Not to talk down on nobody's video talking about this stuff, but because look at me. I'm gonna do my best to just share with y'all what I'm feeling, because as I was going through all of those things, I was noticing like there's a point that I feel like is being missed. My Bible, and then I have like the transparent, so yeah, I'm not writing over top of the word, but I have the transparent sticky notes. You can find them at Dollar Tree. I also have my Bible, which I actually got the original, well no, I got the original text from the Bible app. I went and I read through here and I was like, yeah, this is the New International Version. I thought this was giving King James, child. And this is the English Standard Version. Sometimes you gotta read like different versions of the Bible just so you can have like a clear understanding of what is even being talked about. In the midst of the thou was in the days, and yeah, all of that, you know, the message can kind of get lost if you're not used to, you know, reading that. I also have this. It's $5 on Amazon. They said it's only 2 in stock. I really want to like order this for my mom. Oh yeah, Cherished Resources. I'm gonna add that one in cart. I know somewhere I have another one, but it's so good, y'all, that I want to kind of keep the other one for myself, because I was planning on giving my other copy to a friend. It is Cherished Resources, if y'all wasn't able to get that. I mean, it's so good. It's so good, y'all. Definitely get y'all a good daily devotional. That one's so good that I just be wanting to like read through it. Some days I actually have, for real. Just get you a good devotional. I'm just about to pull this face together because that's the places to go. And I confirm where I'm gonna be or who gonna see me. I know I have to be at these places. I don't know who I'm gonna pick, but yeah, that's just the vibe for today. I'm looking like I want to go work out. My friend invited me to this hip-hop dance class, and I did go to the gym this morning, but I'm like, I don't know. And then I have my last business marketing class. I'm sorry, y'all, but I have to do what I do. I have started to get like a 5 o'clock shadow. Lord, what's the problem? Because I am only 28. I was so mad earlier, like, wait a minute, mama, can you please tell me how old I am? What's going on with this whole mustache situation? I don't know. I'm about to do a fast for multiple reasons, but the Lord know my heart. He know he the base of my decisions. I can't be walking around with no 5 o'clock shadow, Lord. I can't. And I'm not even about to, you know, get into all the questions that I have for you when it comes to my body. That that mustache, that ain't the one. So I don't know what you're trying to reveal. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so if you wanted me to do a fast, You could have just said that. I'm not about to be over here sprouting no full mustache. The times is definitely you trying to catch up with your girl. So I really can't see too well. I got a facial and I hate to cover up all the beauty. My skin is now starting to purge. Plus I just wanted to give a look today. I feel like Felicia braids, the least that I can do is give my face a nice look. Oh, I thought I already did that. Crap. Y'all know the drill. If y'all stick around long enough, y'all gonna find out. An update was needed after my last video where I was just talking to y'all about the dark night of the soul and everything like that. And I needed to just touch base with myself about where I'm at right now. I will say, I feel like I'm being changed for the better. And I feel like God is really working through a lot of my past like traumas and things like that, so I'm not even mad at it. Hold on, y'all. So I feel like God has really just been working through this moment, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, when you start to realize that there's a lot of things going on around you that you don't like and you don't care for, it's just a level of comfortability that you have to seek within all the mess and all the drama, and therefore it makes you want to seek out peace, and nothing else comes above or before that peace. And for me, that just translates to a lot more to what is God really showing me, what is God really trying to present to me in this moment. How can I get closer to him? Like, that's just my bottom line. God, if it's so much that is going on, and some of y'all not gonna want to hear this, but God, if there's so much that's going on that I don't like, baby, I'm the common denominator. I'm the problem. I'm the problem, and I don't have no problem saying that, because sometimes it take you so long, or it just takes so much to try to check in with other people and see what's going on with other people. Baby, just try to change yourself. That's the most easiest thing. Just change yourself. I'm telling you, the next time you get into it with somebody, or the next time that you feel like you don't like this, that, and the third, change yourself. The way that I'm like, okay, how can I go on this journey of change? Because I'm realizing that I don't care for certain things anymore. Like, it's not really them. Let them do what they do. They do what they do. Okay. I'm gonna do what I do. And what is more so aligning to what I have going on and just the core of my being is that I'm brushing my eyebrows down, y'all, because lately I've been feeling like a thinner eyebrow look. I've been coming out like with these 2016 eyebrows, but I really need to get them threaded or something, because that thick eyebrow look ain't becoming at all. Let them folks do what they do, and then you go off and you do whatever it is that you need to do. I really just had to sit with myself. So I'm like, okay, God, how can I get more peace? Because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm the type of person, I'll go out by myself. I don't care. Like, I'll go out by myself. I don't want to listen to nobody's drama. I don't want to be worried about, you know, just a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff. Take me out by myself. I'll do it by myself. I don't care. I don't care, because if I know that I'll have a better time with just me, so be it. So be it. I bet you I will go out and have a good time by myself and not have to sit up here and answer to nobody or worry about nobody's attitude. No, I'm not doing that. It started with me going out, hanging out by myself. Lord, what atmospheres do I need to be in? Where are you trying to take me? You know what? If I feel like my peace is being disrupted a little bit of everywhere that I go, then it might be time for me to change. It might be time for me to just kind of check in, take inventory. Because I was finding solace and refuge in the gym. No lie, I was. And then that went away. Before then, I was getting frustrated. Everybody just started to come up to me. And that's the way that, like, the devil kind of... I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not even gonna say that, because I'm in such a space now that I kind of see, I'm in hindsight, right? So God was allowed for the devil to kind of like attack me and take me out of that moment so that way he could get more of me. and that way he can, you know, sit me down and talk to me, because I was for real like, oh, I'm gonna just take my aggressions out, I'm gonna take my problems out at the gym, and I'm not gonna really address anything. I'm gonna just go put all of this into this workout. And God was like, no, we're not doing that like that. If you thought that we was about to do that like that this time, girl, you sadly mistaken. Let me just let the devil use these people, random girls coming up to me talking about, yeah, girl, did you see that man over there staring at me? Yeah, did you know that man over there had the nerve to say to me? Girl, yeah, it was very much so like that. And you know, I'm the type of person, I'm very much loyal, I'm very much protective. It just made me start feeling away. And then before I know it, I'm like, you know what, I'm about to have my monthly, I don't even want to deal with this, so I'm not going, because people gonna make me mad and this, that, and the third. And it was like, girl, you could have totally went, because ain't no telling who would have been there, who, you know, or who might not have been there. You know, you have to tap in with yourself, and you have to find out ways that you get frustrated and how that is controlling and kind of like abusing you in a sense. I'm at home. Now at home is starting to irritate me, because if it's not me finding one thing that's messed up, then I'm finding another. The day is going by so quick, I haven't even had a chance to do any work. You know what I'm saying? This message that the Lord has been giving you about routine is starting to come back up. It's starting to come back up. So look how God is using me, Lord, because I promised you that, ooh, maybe I should have waited to do my makeup. Goodness. Ooh, okay. God. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, Lord. I was up here tripping. I'm like, man, answer me. All of these distractions, man. All of these distractions. I'm so glad, because I'm gonna try to cross post or whatever. So I'm glad because you made me make sense of it all. When I tell you that we serve, I can't even say a jealous Lord, because I don't want y'all to get it twisted like it's any other choice. It's not. God will definitely use a thing to use a thing. He will. Why you thinking that, oh, it's just all about the free will? Yeah, you got free will, but God is gonna tell you. God is gonna tell you and show you one way or another. So you better pick it sooner than later. And if you even do have a choice, that's why we shouldn't even go through life worrying about anything for real, because God has it covered. When you decide that you are a man after God's heart, I'm telling you, he is gonna make a way out of no way, and he gonna make another way out of another way. There will always be a way, because it's already been written. Like, that's just the grand scheme of it all. Here I go back into the 2016 eyebrows, but I can't help myself, so. Should I just stop right there? I feel like, let's just stop the eyebrows right there. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of like see if I can fill them with this chocolate stuff from e.l.f. It's kind of like e.l.f. came out with a boy brow, but I don't know. I put that Anastasia on and they said freeze. La 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 la. Okay, so that is what God has really been showing me lately, and man, it's just such a blessing, because I'm telling y'all, we really are gonna get on schedule. We really are we're gonna do everything that we said that we're gonna do. We really are. And God wants that for us. And when he tell you, or he try to show you, hey, there's no other way but to do it in the way that I told you to do it, then you have to do it. You have to follow God's commands with that. So I like to take my bronzer and the same brush that I have. I ain't dusting nothing off since and I said it's the nails. You know the nails make you wanna. I like to have a little blush everywhere, you know, just a nice definition and stuff, because I get like red and stuff like that anyways. And I wanted to try this. I got this from Dollar Tree. And of course, it's that red tone that I always try to avoid, and yet I find myself here again. Let me see something real quick. I could use this as a bronzer. I'm not gonna lie, dark night of the soul, how you feeling so isolated to the point where you like, oh, it's everybody else. It couldn't possibly be me. How on earth could it be me? There's no way. There's no way that I'm the problem. Everybody else is the problem. I just had to take a step back and just understand that, you know what, God is really working through the situation. I don't know how, because it's not up to me to worry. I don't know what is gonna come out of this, but I know that if I keep my eyes fixed on the Lord, I'm doing the devotional and stuff like that just to give me better understanding. Give me better understanding so that way I know where my next steps are. You know what I'm saying? Usually I like to go in with like a setting powder or a foundation powder after I spray. And I like to do a spray prior to my, let me put her back here, because I like to do the Ilia first. I got a little sample of Ilia from Sephora as a birthday gift. I like to do this first so I can separate the lashes and therefore get more volume and bottom lashes too. Get the bottom lashes too. Since I did my makeup, I kind of don't want to put that hat back on. And another reason that I knew I was under like a spiritual attack, because y'all, since that Dark Night of the Soul video, I've definitely gained about a solid 6 pounds. God had revealed to me first way, and I don't know how this might read for somebody else, but I know for me, I know when I'm under a spiritual attack, when I get in the way of my goals, and also when I start to abuse my body. And so yeah, I was overeating, gluttony, you know, all of that was definitely taking hold because I just was so outside of myself. I feel like life is going in this direction. I feel like it's meant for me to be isolated. That's gonna be part of it. Like, I'm not necessarily going in like I'm gonna eat my feelings, being so stressed out that I'm sleep deprived, and then next thing you know, my cortisol levels is spiked because I'm not sleeping as much as I should. And then after that, you know, it's just a downward, it's a crazy little spiral. It's crazy, it's ridiculous. It's tough out here, and it's time for me to check here. So I'm so grateful for that, because you will find yourself in a dark place. I like to use this as a blush. I feel like she does really well for my skin tone as a blush. You see? So let me see. I don't know, should I try something fun? Should I try a bun? Hold on. These are still stiff. And I had this turban on and it was fraying all of my hair. I don't know, how y'all like that? Y'all ain't saying nothing. So let's try to get into it. I feel like this is cool. Should I go put on the cardigan? So let me put this stuff away and then let's get right into. I have several books here. Well, 3. 2 are the Bible, and I have the English Standard Version. I have an issue with, you know, reading the Bible and trying to really grasp the context of the text. Definitely try to switch up versions, okay? Before we get into the Book of Jonah, this is something that I'm glad, you know, hindsight, and I'm glad that God revealed this thing to me, because I was really concerned and just upset that, you know, God wasn't hearing me and hearing my cries. So this book is from Communion. It says 100 Days of Intimacy with the Word. This daily devotional says, serve regardless. And it says, but love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them, expecting nothing in return. then your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High. For he is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. The word says serve regardless. So it says with Luke 6:35, it says, but love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them, expecting nothing in return. Then your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High. For he is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. So, just this passage says, everywhere you turn, you can find countless reasons for not serving as you would Christ. The world has many reasons why you shouldn't serve as God expects. From the imperfections of a spouse, children who are acting up, coworkers who are difficult to deal with, to strangers who have a bad attitude. All these and more can present as justifiable reasons for not serving as God expects. God saw all of these things and still instructed you to serve people like you would Christ. To God, these imperfections were his motivation for ministering to the world by sending Jesus. So, if you are looking for a reason not to serve, you don't have to look anymore, because there will always be one right in front of you. The question, however, is this: how will you handle these excuses for not serving that present themselves daily? Lord, how will you handle these excuses for not serving? I'm gonna have to think on that. That's just something to really consider on the daily. That goes into the saying of same thing, different day. Even as far as to say new level, new devil type of thing. But for real, if you don't conquer the level that we're on right now, one for me is saying that, okay, you know what? I really have to serve. I was even thinking earlier today on my birthday how some family members did not reach out at all. Some family members were very combative about just a prior disagreement that I thought, but other people thought that it was more so like a argument or something like that. But how I don't still to this day feel comfortable with, you know, talking to people or anything like that. And the more that I'm getting into the word, I'm just asking God, please show me what serving looks like on my journey. Because serving does not mean that you necessarily have to do anything for somebody. It could mean that you are cordial with them, that, you know, you're patient with them, that you take your time with them. So I'm just praying for God to show me exactly what does serving look like in my life. How could I go about serving those people? So and then it says Jeremiah 20:7-9. This paints a picture of a prophet of God who had enough with serving people, primarily because of the way he was treated by those he was called to serve. Many times we expect things to go smoothly because we have been sent by God. Yet the opposite is usually the case. Those who have been anointed to serve are not always angels, spirit-filled, loving, or kind. Many times we are sent to those who are antichrist with the worst imaginable behavior. Jeremiah got to the point where he felt like he had enough. He said to God, "You deceived me, Lord, and I was deceived. You overpowered me and prevailed. I am ridiculed all day long. Everyone mocks me. Whenever I speak, I cry out, proclaiming violence and destruction. So the word of the Lord has brought me insult and reproach all day long. But if I say, okay. But if I say I will not mention his word or speak anymore in his name, his word is in my heart like a fire shut up in my bones. I am weary of holding it. I am weary of holding it in. Indeed, I cannot. Okay, so I had got teary-eyed. I'm sorry, y'all, because my whole approach for this was really to try to minister. I've read this, but try to talk to y'all through it. And I got teary-eyed because in the midst of me reading this, I'm like, man, you know, I talked to a friend and they know my relationship with a certain family member, but every time me and this family member fall out, I'm usually always the one that reaches out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm tired of that. Like, I'm tired of thinking like, okay, you know what? We could die tomorrow, so let me just, no, forget all of that. Like, I'm tired of it. So why do I feel like I always have to be the one called to try to make things right? And now I'm trying to understand the balance, right? The balance of my boundaries, you know what I'm saying? And how does that deem people's roles in my life? So if my boundaries are saying, okay, you know what, I don't like for people to lie to me, and I know that this person is a liar, you know, it goes back to being equally yoked with people. Because if we're on this pathway and my thought process is always the end goal, how can we meet the end goal, you know, the bigger picture? How can we come across that? A donkey and an ox are not equally yoked. They cannot fulfill the purpose together. So if I feel like, and this is God's, this is, man, his ways are not our ways. You gonna hear me say that so many times. Oh no, my battery. If I feel like, I'ma just see what happens here. That I'm an ox up here and everybody else are jackasses. Okay, I'm sorry. Lord, you know my heart. But everybody else are donkeys down here. Yeah, that's saying that you're not equally yoked, but that does not give you the right as a human to look down on those people. You know, it's about place and position where God wants you to be. Sorry, y'all, the camera died. So hopefully I fixed it. Hopefully I fixed it, because I don't think that the block that I had was, yeah, supporting the cord and whatnot. Okay. Then this devotional says, thank God that the word of God burned in Jeremiah. Even with that, he still gave into the pressure of discouragement. Ooh. I'm telling you, I be getting good. I'll be in here like, and I make my notes. Because this paper is so good to write on. I have to figure out how to fix it. Y'all, please tell me down below, how can I go about fixing a book? I don't fold my books backwards, but I do take them into the sauna, so I think that loosens the glue. And yeah, I would appreciate it if somebody could tell me how I can fix this. I'm gonna just tape it back in there. So it says, but the word in him was too strong for the spirit of discouragement. Just imagine if the word of God had not been in him at all, he could have stopped because the people were mean and nasty and not deserving of his time. God said, I'm about to iron this out. I'm about to iron this out for you, because you need some help, baby girl. You just don't see it. But it says saints. And I always, especially in devotionals, I always take that word into a very high regard and a level of reverence. I understand that we are all after God's heart, especially when you decide to be a vessel. And sorry, I had to grab a bite. So that's why I'm trying to figure it out. It says saints. I wish I could tell you that there was a justifiable reason for not doing as God had commanded you to do, but there is none. That your spouse, co-worker, church member, neighbor, or relative is obnoxious will not hold a valid reason for failing to serve them as you would Christ. Jesus said, but to those of you who will listen, I say, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. If someone strikes you on one cheek, turn to him the other also. And if someone takes your cloak, do not withhold your tunic as well. Lord, please work on me. Give to everyone who asks you, and if anyone takes what is yours, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. If you love those who love you, what credit? Yeah, I read that right. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? That's what really struck a nerve for me, because I remember reading, and I don't know exactly what text this is from, but it says that your duty is to save lives, save souls. So if you are already pouring into people whose cups are already full, what credit is that for you? If you really think that the difference of your path and your journey, and I don't know what that is or what that look like, but speaking from my path and my journey, right? I'm a small business owner, and so I do a lot of networking events. And so people are really deep into rubbing elbows, and you know, the whole mentality now has really changed the game. The fast pace of obtaining what it is that you want. And so people now go into the mindset of it's not what you do, or what you can do, is who you know. I have not really held on to that, because God, thank you so much for keeping your hand on me and always leading me to come from an authentic place. Rather, that's in favor of whoever. Like, my mindset is not on that. It's always on the end goal. And so, and my end goal is not mine. It's the end goal. It's God's end goal for me, for my destiny, and whatever it is that he wants me to fulfill. So while people think, in the way that God works, and people might think that you so calculated and you know how to do this and that, you know, during this time frame, it's not even like that. It's just simply because I was obedient. And I think people fail to realize that, and they get distracted by the who you know concept. And so they pour more into those who are already at that ox level, rather than trying to build and trying to grow. Well, I won't even use the donkey as an analogy. I will use how it was back in the day. And I got this from Melanie. I'll try to tag her YouTube page. But she said they usually pair a senior ox with a like teenage ox. So that way they can kind of meet each other. The teenage ox will grow to carry more weight, so they'll become equally yoked. But during that time, the senior ox is already strong enough to handle that weight. And so I don't know who this is for. I don't even know where this came from, but whoever is watching this, find a mentor. It's time for you to change your environment to the betterment of you. And so that's why I'm trying to give y'all this context and this text, because there is time for an authentic change, but you just have to know how to move and how to pivot with the right heart posture. Only person you gotta know is God, and how you get to know him is through the word, through his word. So I'm hoping that this is gonna, you know, just be received by the right people. Know the path that God has put you on is exactly the path that you need to be, the path that you need to take. Find a mentor. I don't know who that's for. It might be for me. Find a mentor. Do whatever you can. But I'm telling you, you need somebody to help lift you up. From the book of Jeremiah, it says that God wanted those to come to the party, have wine with no money. You don't even have to worry about it. He wants you to enjoy your life. And so that'll be another word for another day. But what I'm telling you is, you have to have this high level of regard and discernment. And so we're going to learn this together. If someone hurts you, stay away from them. Don't pour into them. Don't feel like that you need to kiss butt, or that you need to be this different type of person in order to be in proximity with them. Because the thing is that God has already used them. He's using every last one of us. Don't be so hung up about how much you have to give or sow into these people. The end goal. Keep that in mind. It's just the balance. It's the balance, how we navigate through life. I'm struggling with that balance. Do to others as you would have them do to you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. If you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? What credit is that to you? So know how to sow your seeds. Be obedient. Be obedient to God's word. Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. But love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them, expecting nothing in return. Then your reward will be great. Hold on to them talents. Hold on to them talents, and you not sowing the seed. Okay, God is. Come on then. Come on, because I'm receptive. I'm listening now. I'm receptive. I was running my head into a wall, Lord, and you see me. You let me do it. But I'm hearing you now. And then it says, and you will be sons of the Most High, for he is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. That is from Luke 6:27 through 36. So I said, you know, I'm a puzzle piece that I'm here to serve a bigger picture. So I'm always trying to now assess, how am I getting in the way of the bigger picture? I wanted to read to y'all Servitude. The Book of Jonah. Oh wow, that's crazy. I turned right to it. Did y'all see that? Did y'all? Come on, you see that? I turned right to it. There's no bookmark in here. There is no bookmark in here. I turned right to it. The Lord said, come on, because we've been taking too long. You've been taking too long. So it says, Jonah flees from the Lord. Now I want to read this from here just because the New International Version, it always gives a breakdown. The English Standard Version more straight to the point, and so the verbiage might be a little different. But like I said, I typically, like, here are my notes for this. I typically write in this one and not in this one. This is my good one. It says, the word of the Lord came to Jonah, go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me. But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship bound for that port. After paying the fare, he went aboard and sailed for Tarshish to flee from the Lord. Then the Lord set the great wind on the sea, and such a violent storm arose that the ship threatened to break up. All the sailors were afraid, and each cried out for his own God. They threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. I wanted to stop there and highlight that point. Hold on. I'll wait. But Jonah had gone below deck, where he lay down and he fell into a deep sleep. And the captain went to him and said, how can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us and we will not perish. Then the sailors said to each other, come, let us cast lots to find out who is responsible for this calamity. They cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. They said to him, tell us, who is responsible for making this trouble for us? What kind of work do you do? Where do you come from? What is your country? From what people are you? Look, we want to know where your grandmama stay. He answered. Now hold on. Let's highlight the fact that the men on the boat had called out to their own gods. Calamity still happening. Calamity still happening. Now it says, he answered, I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and dry land. Listen to what people say to you. Listen to what people tell you about themselves. This is where we go into, okay, the balance of discernment and also serving people. This is how Jonah had introduced himself. He said, I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land. I want to highlight the fact. He said that he worships. This English Standard Version says that he fears. Worship and fear, right? Actively, not worshipped, not feared, actively fear. And see, that's the mercy and the grace of our Lord that we serve, is that he will constantly give you grace over a thing. So if he tells you something, yeah, you might have free will to go ahead on and do what you think, right? What you think that you about to do. And the Lord said, okay, go get on that boat. But I bet present tense, that means that he still was in the favor of the Lord. You still hold God to that high regard. It says Jonah actively feared the Lord. Jonah actively feared the Lord, which means he was still in the will of God. He was still in the favor of the Lord. Why did he have to state that his Lord made the sea and the dry land, And here they is experiencing all of this calamity. Why did he have to say that? This is how God uses people. This is how God does a thing to do a thing. So then it says, this terrified them. And they asked, what have you done? They knew he was running away. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. They knew he was running away from the Lord because he had already told them so. He already told them. Okay, so I also made a note. I said, don't be surprised when you start experiencing calamity just because you have taken on somebody else's bag. This is how we discern what people are presented to us and how people are presented to us. The sea was getting rougher and rougher. So they asked him, what should we do to make the sea calm down for us? he said, pick me up and throw me into the sea and it will become calm. I know that it is my fault that this great storm has come upon you. So when people tell you, look, you don't want to be bothered with me, believe them. Believe them. Because people tell us directly. Sometimes they tell us way before they even show us. But people give that first warning off. That red flag, people do. Instead, the men did their best to row back to land. They could not, for the sea grew even wilder than before. They cried out to the Lord. So, here's the thing, right? These people have been through stress, calamity. They've lost their things because they've thrown it away in effort to hold on, to figure out what's going on, to hold on to this person that already told them that he was trouble. I knew you was trouble when you walked in, okay? Now, shame on me, but they cried out to the Lord. Please, Lord, do not let us die for taking this man's life. Do not hold us accountable for killing an innocent man, for you, Lord, have done as you please. Then they took Jonah, they threw him overboard, and the raging sea grew calm. The Lord would do a thing to do a thing. At this, the men greatly feared the Lord. And they offered a sacrifice to the Lord and made vows to him. Had God not allowed for Jonah to board on that ship or onto that boat, those people would have never knew him possibly. That's how God said, okay, you go ahead. Why you thinking that you about to do what you want to do? You didn't know that this was a part of my plan to begin with. And this is how, look, the Lord gonna do a thing to do a thing to do a thing to do the thing. Okay? So it says here, and I just want to make sure that I'm getting all of my side notes, right? So sacrifice, okay? Here is dead weight that you have to lose yourself of. You have to get rid of it. That's a word for somebody. Get rid of the dead weight. Who you write off and who you choose to go. That's something else that I wanted to make a key point of. Be careful of who you write off and who you choose to go with you. Because not everybody could go. Jonah couldn't go with them. And now we about to get deeper into the text. Jonah said, I'm not finna help those people. Those people are crazy. I wish I would waste my breath and my time and my energy by going to go help them. Whatever. They don't care. So I'm not gonna care. Whatever, I'm about to go on over here. Me earlier. Why I gotta be the person I was thinking, well, we could die tomorrow? Why I gotta be the person? That look was for me when I go back and edit this video. Yeah. It hurts. This is Jonah's prayer to the Lord. Now the Lord provided a huge fish to swallow Jonah. And Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. What does that sound like? While he is in the belly of a fish, do you think that he was in that belly eating? I hope not, but I mean, do what you gotta do. I've never been in that situation, but I'm just saying. Okay. Ooh, why did I even think about that? Ugh. From inside the fish, Jonah prayed to the Lord, his God. He said, in my distress, I called on the Lord, and he answered me. From deep in the realm of the dead, I called for help, and you listened to my cry. You hurled me into the depths, into the very heart of the seas, and the currents swirled about me. All your waves and breakers swept over me. I said, I have been banished from your sight, yet I will look again toward your holy temple. The engulfing waters threatened me. The deep surrounded me. Seaweed was wrapped around my head. To the roots of the mountains I sank down. The earth beneath buried me in forever. But you, Lord, my God, brought my life from the pit. When my life was ebbing away, I remembered you, Lord, and my prayer rose to you, to your holy temple. Those who cling to worthless idols turn away from God's love for them. But I, with shouts of grateful praise, will sacrifice to you. What I have vowed, I will make good. I will say salvation comes from the Lord. I just want to give y'all the definition of the word salvation. It means preservation. It means deliverance from harm, ruin, loss. The theology is deliverance from sin and its consequences. In a biblical sense, it means Christians were brought about by faith in Christ, and it means a sense of redemption and deliverance. So think about those 3 days. Jonah was taken out of his environment. 3 days, 3 nights, that sounds like a fast to me. It says, and the Lord commanded the fish, and it vomited Jonah onto dry land. Then the word of the Lord came to Jonah a second time. Because what, you thought that was just about to be it? No. You've just been delivered onto dry land. I heard your prayer. But I need you to do this thing because I need this to come from you. Had it been anybody else, who knows how the people of Leviah would have received the message. The Lord knew to use Jonah. The Lord knows to use you. Then the word of the Lord came unto Jonah a second time. Go to the great city of Leviah and proclaim to it the message I give you. Jonah obeyed the word and went to Leviah. Now Leviah was a very large city. It took 3 days to go through it. Jonah began by going a day's journey into the city, proclaiming it. 40 more days and Leviah would be overthrown. The Levites believed God. A fast was proclaimed, and all of them, from the greatest to the least, put on sackcloth. When Jonah's warning reached the king of Leviah, he rose from his throne, took off his royal robes, covered himself in sackcloth, and sat down in the dust. This is the proclamation he used in Leviah. By the decree of the king and his nobles, do not let people or animals, herds or flocks taste anything. Do not let them eat or drink, but people and animals be covered with sackcloth. Let everyone call urgently on God. Give them up their evil ways and their violence. Who knows? God may yet relent with compassion, turn from his fierce anger, so that we will not perish. When God saw what they did and how they turned from their evil ways, he relented and did not bring on them the destruction that he had threatened. Upon seeking the salvation, what did the people of Leviah do? They did a fast. They asked for salvation, right? So did Jonah. Jonah's anger, right? He got mad. Because we feel like God shouldn't bless our enemies, so we get mad. But to Jonah, this seemed very wrong. He prayed to the Lord, this isn't what I said, Lord. Our ways are not the Lord's ways. But to Jonah, this seemed very wrong. He became angry. He prayed to the Lord, isn't this what I said when I was still at home? Like, who was you talking to? But okay. But that's our thoughts, right? Our ways ain't the Lord's ways. This is what I tried to forestall by fleeing to Tarshish. I knew that you were a gracious and compassionate God, slow to anger and abounding in love, a God who relents from sin and calamity. Now, Lord, take away my life, for it is better for me to die than to live. But the Lord replied, is it right for you to be angry? Jonah had gone and sat down at a place east of the city. There he made himself a shelter. This is where the spirit of offense come in. Sat in its shade and waited to see what would happen to the city. Then the Lord provided a leafy plant and made it grow up over Jonah to give shade for his head to ease his discomfort. Grace of God. And Jonah was very happy about the plant. But at dawn the next day, God provided a worm which chewed the plant so that it withered. When the sun arose, God provided a scorching east wind, and the sun blazed on Jonah's head so that he would grow faint. He wanted to die and said, it would be better for me to die than to live. But God said to Jonah, is it right for you to be angry about the plant? It is, he said, and I'm so angry I wish I were dead. When you sit in your offense and you allow for that to serve you, mind you, he went and sat east of the city just to look at it because he was so mad that he wanted to die. You could have just went home. But the thing is, he sat in his anger. And that's what offense is. You sitting in your anger. You isolating yourself. So he said, I'm so mad. I'm so mad that I wish that I was dead. Anger brings about distraction, destruction, and death, ultimately. Let's be mindful of the things that we sit on. It's one thing to acknowledge your feelings. It's another thing to just harbor grudges and guilt and frustration. It brings about death. And I can first attest to this because I have sat on all of that to the point that it made me sick and have knots in my stomach. The Lord said, you have been concerned about this plant, though you did not tend to it or make it grow. It sprang up overnight and died overnight. And I should not have concern for the great city of Nevaeh, in which there are more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and so many animals. So you ask God for salvation, and then you judge God for giving the same salvation that he gave to you. Love your enemies. Be always in a humble sense of serving, because God will make a way out of no way for you and for those who you call enemies. But do not sit in offense. So I just wanted to make a point that, you know, with God's last words to Jonah, the last that we hear of this book of Jonah, is that it says, and I should not pity Nevaeh, that great city, which are more than 120,000 people who do not know their right hand from their left. Raising cattle, all of that, right? And sorry, because we're working on the roof. Be mindful to give people grace. People don't even know what they do. That's not to say that people don't go into things with ill intent. That's just to say that people don't know how you could be affected by their actions. While you might think that somebody is trying to be funny with you and deliberately hurt your heart, sometimes people just want an outlet for their own anger or things that they're going through, their own offense that they're sitting on. And I say sitting on because you always have to have a clear observation of things. But you can't do that if you're above it, right? So the Lord don't care about you. And it's a word for me. The Lord don't care about you being no Virgo. Being no, you know, you're not Beyonce. But no, I'm playing. We're all human. The Lord don't care about that. The Lord wants you to be as good as you possibly can be. Your traits, your ways, your attributes, everything. I cannot talk today. I'm so sorry. All of those things is and to figure out a way to better serve him. You just come in just demanding the attention. One of the main points in this passage is that God was made known to people who did not know him. And he was able to touch those and affect their lives so that they would never forget it. Salvation. I'm glad that God had gave me this passage to review and keep reviewing and make sense of it all. Because first when I read Jonah, you know, everybody likes to highlight the fact that he was swallowed by the whale and that he survived, but it was so much about serving and a deeper meaning to that and grace for me. That's all that I got for y'all. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely check out my TikTok, that's at Jasmine Golden, and also on Instagram, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye. I hope that this helps somebody else. Stay hydrated, stay blessed. Bye. That's not your bear. That's not yours. Who you running up on? You better watch out.
No.
Alright. Josiah, can I tell you something? Yeah. What are you doing? Coming in here rearranging stuff. This is my office. Okay? This is my office. If you want to rearrange something, go clean up your room. Get that toy out of your mouth. Give me a kiss, girl. Ouch. Epiglottises. Oh, thank you. All right. All right. You gonna break my nose. Gave it up to somebody who didn't deserve my body. You gon' have to let it show. Help me kill this thing over.